Hey, what's going on, good people? Welcome back to my channel. So this could be kind of a show and tell video. These are the first repaints that I actually started doing. This is back in the summer. I think that's when these figures came out, maybe early spring. And I decided, hey, let me try my hand at making these more movie accurate. So doing this actually led me into doing the Crimson Rain customizations, some other videos that you've seen, or maybe you've seen. If you haven't, go take a look at it. Yeah, so I like these from of course, the Zack Snyder, McFarlane Justice League figures. And while I liked them, I didn't like the Superman head. The Superman head had it wasn't Superman. It was a little odd looking. So I went, ordered a head offline, repainted it online, off eBay. That's what I was trying to say. On eBay, repainted it. And, then that made me want to actually start doing the rest of the body and the figures. Because while, I thought the suit and everything looked pretty good overall, it was flat. In the movie, it had more of a reflective look. You could see the cuts and everything. So, that's what this is. So, I went back, repainted everything, the entire suit, so it wouldn't have just that flat black to it. I even repainted the cape, and not that the cape made much of a difference in doing that. I went ahead and did that too, just because at that point I was in a painting mood, so it was no point hitting the camera. It was no point in stopping then. But yeah, I think it came out pretty good, especially for so you can see I actually used some, I think it was some tack or something for the head to actually get this head on there. Since then, I've kind of figured out a few other ways to actually make my own connectors. So instead of going buying and spending money on them all the time. But yeah, so I really like how that one came out. I didn't really do much to, let me get him back up here, right? Hopefully he don't fall over. I didn't do much to Wonder Woman, mainly because I was really debating whether I was going to get the new sculpt of this Wonder Woman. And I did this is a regular head that was on this. So I didn't buy a new head for Wonder Woman. This is one I actually came with. I just went back and repainted the eyes. For the hair, if it doesn't stop switching. For the hair, I don't know if it's showing up. Just added a little bit more highlights to, brown to it. Kind of brush that into her hair. So that would show up a little bit better. But I didn't really care much for this head. I mean, for the repaint of the head at first. But recently, the more I'm looking at it, it's like, shoot, I'm not spending an extra $20 on this. That head sculpt I have is good enough. So we're just going to keep rocking with that. For Batman, for him, I just repainted to give actual difference in where more of the armor parts were versus the suit underneath, because it was all one flat color before. And same for the armor paddings. I can't remember if it was silver or not, but I still repainted it silver. I don't think it was silver. But I went back, repainted silver, added the gold buckles to it. Even on the face, added the silver. I can't remember if it had a silver or if it was just gold on the face before, but then added the 5 o'clock shadow to them. Because Affleck had that 5 o'clock shadow through the movie. So that's what I added to mine. So I really like how these came out. Even on the gauntlets, added the gold to the gauntlets and everything. Let's see. Let's get Batman back in the picture. Standing up all nice and proper. For Aquaman, I repainted his trident, or whatever it's called. We'll call it trident. I don't know what you called it in this. Because wanted to give it more of a gold and silver look. How it had in the movie. It wasn't just a straight up gold trident. I didn't do anything to his suit. I started to at first, but then I didn't think it really mattered. But down here, it should have been more green too. I might go back and do that later on down in the boots. But what I actually did was to the head. I repainted the head to give him gold highlights in his beard and in his hair, because that's what he actually had in the movie. His gold highlights. So it wasn't just a flat color or anything. And then as far as the eyes too, to give him that what is it? How he had his eyes, like he had like a gold look to his eyes and everything. He had the Jason Momoa scar to his eyebrow and everything. So, and it's kind of dark around his brow. So I added that as, you know, add more shading and paint to that too. So let's get him up here. So I'm trying to be real careful not to make these fall over, because this diorama I made, sometimes it's not quite level. So for Cyborg, I repainted the entire body. Then I put a wash on it. It pretty much came out almost the same color it was before I started. So, you know, that kind of, it didn't necessarily feel like a waste, because it did make a richer color to it. The biggest difference to me on this, though, that did stand out, was his complexion and the light behind that's in his chest and everything. It was, I think, just a little bit here, wasn't really pronounced. But then when you look at the picture, it actually, you can see it's like the light glowing behind it. So I went and tried to give it more of a glowing effect. Where most of the suit, I did use more like a matte spray. On that part, I used a gloss spray on it to make it stand out a little bit more. And then the wash I did to kind of make it stand out, make the details stand out in his, his joints and everything. And I don't think I went straight wash on this. I think this was armor. I think I did use a lot of, usually I have a mixture between a matte sealant and a gloss sealant. So let's get him back there. Can you see him still? All right. It's hard trying to look in the camera and do this and move at the same time. This one, much like Superman and Batman, took a lot. Well, I don't say it didn't really take a lot of time doing it, but it was a lot of smaller details in this one. For the Flash, if I hit this camera one more time, but because the Flash had more of a flat paint, so he wasn't. I think the original color was like a brighter red, but in the movie it was a darker red to it. So I went back, and I don't think you can see. It kind of gives it a pearlescent. No, you can't. It's not really showing. Well, it shows it a little bit on camera. But just making it different colors, give it more depth in the suit, like the wiring that went all through it in the movie. I don't think I repainted the gold. I think the gold might have already been there, but the darker color is almost a brownish. I don't really want to say maroon, because the rest of it is more of maroon. Because you have more of the red, then it's a darker. It's more of a crimson color than a darker color, and so. There's like this brownish red. So I went through, did that. And this actually was a lot of fun doing. Took a lot of time doing, patience and trying to keep a steady hand. But it was a lot of fun doing. I enjoyed doing this. So then lastly, Martian Manhunter. So let me get Flash in here. Here we go. And don't fall over, please. The Martian Manhunter. There we go. So this one took some doing, because I wanted to try to make him look as close as I possibly could to how he looked in the movie. Of course, there's not a lot of stuff, and I was not really dealing much with putty at the time. And then I had to look at a lot of things to get a good representation of what he looked like in the movie as well, because trying to pause it, that took a lot of pausing and looking at the movie, doing it as it wasn't really showing the way I was needing to see it. So I think I went on Pinterest and some other things to really pull up some footage of it. I took the head from the TV version of Martian Manhunter, and I started to use the suit in general, but this is the McFarlane Martian Manhunter, and it had it because I think I had a different Martian Manhunter as well too. I ended up settling on this one because the suit had more of what I was looking for. I repainted the entire suit. I think it was originally like a darker blue, and the boots were black or something like that. But I repainted everything to give it more of the colors of the movie. Painted the eyes to give it, that glow effect. Even throughout the head, And this head is a little, it's not going to come off. It's a little wobbly at times, mainly because it's not the head for this body. But it functions as it's supposed to function. Added shading to the body, to the muscles to give it more depth in it. So that was, a lot of fun doing. This is really what got me into, when I started doing one, started making me jump in and do a lot of other customizations with it. So, yeah, so it was a lot of fun doing these. So I have another one. Let's see, will I do it on this one? Let me get this over here. I think I might say, do I want to say that for another video? No, I don't. I'm going to do it on this video. So I also have Dr. Fate. So I repainted Dr. Fate's suit because the original suit that, not the original suit, but the original figure had, I think it was a darker blue. And it wasn't this dark. It wasn't that dark in the movie. So I used, I think, 2 different types of blue. Then I went back in certain parts and darkened it up. Not darkened it, but the blue that I used, went over it with a different layer. I think I used a silver. I forgot what different types of blues I'll use. So that way when the light hits it, it kind of, you see it kind of changes a bit. You see the depth in the muscles as the light hits it. Same for the helmet. I use a gold and a silver to give it so it wouldn't look like just a flat gold, because his suit didn't look like a flat gold. Same for the cape. Added the trimming throughout the cape, and just made sure the details, things like this, were not painted gold before. So that's my Dr. Fate. Thoroughly enjoyed doing that. It took me a while to get the colors the way I wanted them. So that was a bit of a chore. Then we have Black Adam. Repainted his lightning bolt on his chest to give it more of that charred look. This was just really a flat gold before, and so I wanted to give it more of that charred look. And same to the suit in general. I use a metallic black and I think it was chrome. I can't remember what I mixed it with, but there's a couple of things I mixed it with to give it more of an ash type look, because that's how the suit looked to me. Looked in the movie. It had an ash to it. It wasn't quite black, and it wasn't gray either. So then I kind of went around the chest to make it look more pronounced, where the muscles are, to give it more depth. And then gave him the gold gauntlets, and because by the end of the movie, his gauntlets, boots, and belt were all gold. They weren't black or whatever color this was before. Also, I added, kind of darkened the Rock's complexion up a little bit from how the figure was to how he actually looks. Put that one aside. And lastly, no, it's not last. I got 2 more. I'm going to save my favorite one for last. So I got this head. This is not Idris Elba, but I bought this online. I painted it. It was close to the original head that came with it. This isn't Idris. This might be, I don't know, Elvis, but not Idris. And that's no offense to anybody who likes Elvis. That's just what came to my mind at the top of my head. So, that's not Idris though. But I still repainted it as close as I could to make it look like him. Gave him gray hair. Well, not gray hair, but the gray, tried to, put a little gray in there. But the suit itself, it had brighter colors, brighter orange. There was no difference in like how this blue is versus more of a grayish blue. There was no difference in there before. So I wanted to make sure that actually showed as it did in the movie, where there were different colors. Even the orange was like a bright orange initially. This gun came from a Mezco cable, which I thought fit perfectly for him because his guns look like a futuristic made up gun in a movie. So I wanted to make sure something like that actually shined through. And for my last one, hear that wind kicking up out there. All right. Is Hawkman. Now this one, oh man, I was very, very pleased with how this turned out. One is we gave him the right complexion. The Hawkman, the original figure, was much lighter than this, and I can't remember the Joe's name who plays the character. It's escaping right now, but I love him as an actor anyways. But he's not light skinned, so that's one of the things I corrected is fixing his complexion. Then with the gold on the wings, do I have this light on? Cut this up a little bit. Okay. The gold on the wings, I did more of a pearlescent gold. I don't think I mixed silver with this one. Now I have on this stand because these wings are heavy. But I did go through, paint the red on the wings because that was not initially on there. Then the green on his suit, I had to paint this. I can't remember what color it originally was, but you know, and gave the detail it actually had. Then I did a wash over it. Oh no, I did mix this with silver. It's just not as much as Doctor Strange because it was supposed to be more of a gold than silver. So yeah, so I did mix it with like a silver and gold. But I love how this Hawkman turned out. This was probably, this and the Flash were no, I say this, the Flash and Martian Manhunter. These are my, I mean, I had a lot of fun doing these three. I know that may sound weird, but when you do these things, I find it relaxing, helps me with my downtime. But yeah, I really enjoyed doing these. So, but yeah, so that is, that's all I have for this one. I'll do a little photos at the end, let you see those. And hope you enjoyed this video and see you on the next one.
Hey, Crimson, run it up.